Well, hello there. This is Diamond from Diamond Shine Soap. Guys, I'm excited to see you today. Today, we are going to be making some. We're going to be making some jelly wax melts, guys. Now, this is a really cool project. You don't need a whole lot to get started with it. Everything you need will be found in the description box, meaning that all of your recipe, if you're looking for the entire recipe, you can find it on my website, or you can join the Patreon. Now, listen, if you have not joined the Patreon, I have no idea what you're waiting on. The Patreon is full of candle making recipes, skincare recipes. It's so much there. If you are a person who is looking to launch your candle making career, and if you are trying to launch it with the least money as possible, and you want to actually be successful in your candle making journey, baby, you need to go ahead and join that Patreon. Once a month, we have live classes on the $20 level. You have access to all of the replays. So that means we have a class on that $20 level. There is a replay. You can watch it over and over and over, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Guys, we have soap making recipes and skincare recipes on the $5 level. And we have a $10 level where you have access to so much more. You do not want to miss out, okay? All right, so let's talk about what we're going to be making today. Now, before I talk about that, I did not say this one thing. Listen, if you need one-on-one coaching, guess what? I do that too. So go in the description box and sign up with me so we can talk and get you started on your candle making journey. Listen, you will be making candles in just about 2 weeks if you can go through the testing and pass and not fail. You won't fail if you're rocking with me. Anyway, all right, let's talk about what we're going to be making today. So today we're going to be doing something pretty different. This is my cute little unique packaging, okay? So we are making some jelly wax melts, guys. As you can see, I already done took a chunk out of mine and been using it on the warmer or whatever. Listen, these are so amazing. So what I like about these jelly wax melts is we're using a very thick wax, okay? So that means it's going to last a little bit longer than your typical wax melt. And then another thing is it's going to be really cute. So this is something that people do not see a lot, and one thing I love about making candles right now is just being unique. Okay, so that's the biggest thing. So if you want to sell more, you have to stand out more, and if you want to stand out more, you just got to do a little more. All right, so this is one of those projects where you will stand out more because people will be like amazed, like what is a jelly wax melt? So it just really look like jelly. Okay, it's kind of like flubberish, as you can see. It's not something that you would just find in your typical Bath and Body Works, or because a lot of people don't work with this jelly gel. Okay, now in the summertime, I know I'm gonna get a lot of questions in the comments. In the summertime, if you want to ship these, they do hold up to heat. Okay, it does take about I think about 200 degrees just to kind of get them to be liquid. All right, so they definitely have a high melt point. Okay, so that's one good thing about them. So they are safe to ship. Okay, another thing is a lot of people scared to work with gel because of the risk of a fire. Okay, I ain't putting no glitter on the bottom of that when I did this one. It is so pretty. These are so pretty. All right, the risk of a fire. And yes, I do have gel safety classes in the Patreon. I have about 2 of them to teach you how to work with gel wax without having any issues, or just to see everything go up in flame. Poof. All right, so no poof. Well, anyway, listen, guys, I could talk about this project all day. This one I made, I called it sour apple, and I let my sweetheart, my husband, smell it, and he loved it, guys. And if he loved it, then we know we passed the test, because it's hard to pass the test with him. Wow. All right, so we got this one. This one smells like jelly. No, it smells like apple. Smells like sour apple. Now listen, I have told you guys my top fragrance companies to go to. Now when you are making these, you have to make sure that you use a very strong, potent fragrance, because already we are working at high temperatures just to get everything in and the fragrance to bind with the wax. So you want to make sure that you use a fragrance that's not really light, because if it's too light, it's going to burn off, because of course we work at high temperatures. All right, so look, I don't want to hold you guys up. It's already been about 4 minutes since I've been talking. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, guys, so pull out your jelly, flubber wax. I love gel wax. It's just so cool. All right, and then place it on your scale. Just basically weigh it out based on the amount of wax you're going to need for your container, okay? And I will be showing you guys the actual containers that I'm using. So what you're going to do is you're going to stick it straight into your Presto pot, or you're going to put it in the stove, but you're going to use direct heat. One thing about gel wax is you cannot double boil it because it has to reach a very high temperature just to get it to melt down. So that high temperature can range between 200 to 250 to even sometimes 300 to get it to melt. Okay. All right. So go ahead and melt your wax down and bring it all the way down to a liquid, and it will kind of be like really liquid, not syrup. If it's like syrup, you want to make sure that you allow it to melt a little bit longer, because the syrup phase is like when it's cooling down. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and melt this wax down. All right, so the next thing you're going to need is some mica powder. Mica powder is really an option. You can honestly use candle dye, but I just like the mica powder with the gel wax. I would not use mica powder if I was using it to burn it, but to use it as a wax melt is different. So I'm going to be using some glitter and some mica powder. It makes it so pretty. Mica powder is cheap. You can get it off of Amazon. You can get your glitter off of Amazon as well. This is Amazon mica powder. It's not my Mad Micas or anything like that. Yes, so I'm just going to basically turn the temperature up on my pot, allow it to melt, and I'm going to come back, okay? All right, so while it is melting down, I'm almost finished melting this down. I'm just going to take my spatula and move it around a little bit. You can go ahead and just add your powder to it. Yes, you can add your mica powder to it. And then after this, we're just going to mess around with the temperatures because we have to add our fragrance. And guys, I will definitely leave your fragrance load in the description box, and a link, probably link to my website or to my Patreon, and you will have your fragrance load and everything like that. All right, so now what you want to do is you want to prepare your fragrance, and then you want to start playing around with the temperature. You want it to be to a certain temperature before you add your fragrance. I have a little method, and that is what I'm doing. Okay, so these are the containers that I will be using. I like these containers because they are about maybe 3 ounces, and they do have like just this little hole to where so I can hang them up, and people don't have to just pick them up off of my table if I'm at a pop-up shop. So these are my go-to containers, and I can add it in there at a high temperature, and they do not melt down or warp on me. So I love these containers. All right. Okay, so I will definitely, guys, give you the temperatures and everything like that. I'm adding my fragrance, and I'm just going to go ahead and stir it around a little bit. But remember, guys, the temperature, the fragrance, the load, all of that is important, because you will not smell these jelly wax melts if you do not use a certain temperature. And also they do have a cure time. So I'm just stirring it up, and as you guys can see, it's almost like I'm just really whipping some shower gel. That's what it looks like. Okay, and this is how I'm just getting my fragrance and my gel combined. And so I have a next phase, and what I do is it's a certain temperature that I put it inside of my Presto pot. I raise it up to, and I take it off. If I bypass that temperature, more than likely I won't be able to smell them. So I have to stay within those ranges. Okay. All right. So I'm just stirring it up, making sure my fragrance is all the way combined into my wax. And after I finish doing that, I'm going to go ahead and prepare my containers that I'm going to use. I did sprinkle a little bit of glitter into my container, and that's just to give it like a nice, pretty look. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this and pour this. And one thing about gel is you don't want to sit with it too long, because it does solidify pretty quick. The temperature just start dropping just like paraffin. Okay. It drops very rapidly. So make sure you move as quick as possible. All right, so I'm just going to pour it. And then the next thing I want to do after I pour it, I'm going to go ahead and get some glitter, and I'm going to sprinkle some glitter on the tops. Okay, so these came out really, really pretty. I'm about to show you guys some pictures, but before we do that, I want you to go ahead and hit that like. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the new videos that I will be posting. And also, guys, you can join me, you know, once a month in our live classes. And also don't forget to subscribe to the Patreon. That's linked in the description box. And that's it. I'm just sprinkling my glitter, and that is how we looked in the end. Okay, so that's my purple one. Then I tried it in another little container, like a little cheaper one, like the Jello shots, and I thought those were pretty cute too. All right, guys, I'll see you again for the next video. All right.